If you ever feel useless, just remember, somebody put a baby changing table in the men's room at Lowe's. Now, I'm going to show you one more video before we talk about this.
If a father can't change his own baby's diaper, he don't need to be around children. You clearly have a reason as to why you are so against changing your baby's diaper, and I refuse to believe that it's just pure laziness. That's not even top 10 hardest things that you have to do when being a parent. So somebody that's refusing to not change a child, you're a predator, without a doubt. And what's scary too is a lot of people normalize this. They normalize men not being able to give their children baths, not being able to change their clothes, not being able to change their diaper. If you are so fearful that your husband or your boyfriend is going to do something to your child because they decided to give them a bath, or decided to change their clothes, or decided to change their diaper, that is not someone you should be with. And also, even if it is pure laziness, why would you ever want a partner that won't even change their own baby's diaper? Why would you want a partner that refuses to give your child a bath, can't get them ready for school in the morning? Why would you ever want that? Partnership means two people contributing equally, not equal.
Okay, let's talk about this. I agree with her, and I'm going to tell you why in a moment. But I'm also going to give another reason that most men give. It's because they think it's women's work. They think it's like that guy, he views the men's room at Lowe's as being a manly place where diapers aren't changed because there are no women in here, right? That's women's work, I guarantee you. The other part that she touched on, the predator part, that unfortunately exists too. There was a guy I knew who just one of those fucking guys. When his wife was pregnant with their child, talking to him about, what do you think you're going to have? What are you going to name it? All that stuff that you typically talk about. What's going to be a boy? Well, what if it's a girl, though? You might have a girl. You understand that, right? They told us our daughter was a boy when she was in utero and turned out she was a girl. No, I'm having a boy. But you don't know. You guys haven't done any ultrasounds or anything. I'm having a boy. Okay. Now I know what kind of guy I'm dealing with. After the child was born, his daughter, we were all at a function together at one point in time, and you know how the functions are. Little babies get passed around and everybody holds them and everybody does this to give the parents a break. And our daughter was very young at the time, and so we were still kind of in that phase, that whole phase of having a young child, and she needed her diaper changed. And I was like, I got it, I'll change the diaper. And he's like, why? Because her diaper needs to be changed. Why do you want to change my daughter's diaper? Because it needs to be changed. I don't want to change the diaper, that she's just here and she needs to be changed. Well, yeah, but why do you want to? Why would a man want to change my daughter's diaper? Are you fucking serious? When men think like that, it's because they are projecting what's in their head onto other people. They are projecting what their fucked up, sick, disgusted, pedophilic thought processes are on the other people. They're thinking that the other person is going to do what they would most likely do if they were in that scenario, which told me right then and there exactly what kind of a man I was dealing with. So here's the bottom line. If you are creeped out about changing a child's diaper, especially a daughter's diaper, while you're a man, you should probably seek therapy. You should seek psychiatric care. If you just don't want to do it because you think it's women's work, she's right. It took me a long time before I realized that, not all baby handling is women's work. It took me a very long time. And take it from somebody who was that guy. You don't want to be that guy. You don't. And I learned how to get out of that and get into a proper parental role over time, and you guys can too. But there are baby changing stations in men's rooms all over the country because fathers are parents too. Fathers sometimes have to change their children's diapers too. I see it at the airports whenever we're flying, right? There's a mom with 3 kids around her and all the luggage because the dad's in the bathroom changing the baby. The creepy thoughts that people have when it comes to things like that, it makes me wonder what's going on behind the scenes, because that's what they're willing to show you. You know, they're willing to show you that they have sexual thoughts when they're changing a little baby girl's diaper. So clearly you must have sexual thoughts when you're doing it. What the fuck is behind that? What are they showing? What are they thinking that they're not showing?